How does GHK-Cu or GHK copper improve skin elasticity? In this video, we'll deconstruct what GHK copper may not do, and I know some of you will be disappointed, but we'll also talk about some of the unique ways that it turns on genes for collagen and elastin productivity, and how it may actually improve your skin. You'll know if this is a viable treatment for you or not. You'll also understand some of the risks associated with GHK copper. This video is not medical advice. I'm not telling you to go run and get on GHK copper, but please work with a medical team who is trained in peptides. They're using 503A or 503B compounding pharmacies. If you want access to my world-class medical team, go to agelessfuture.com, set up a call with one of our providers, get the right tests, and then you can determine if this is right for you. Let's jump in. First of all, what's the problem with most skin products? Well, they work on the surface. There's not anything going on underneath it. And so step one is you want to clean up the gut, clean up the inside. This means exercise. Yes, exercise is really good for your skin. When you get out there and push your body and you perspire, it actually cleans out the skin. Your skin is a secondary detox organ system. So if your liver is not fully functional and your gut's not eliminating toxins, your skin will start to show up with acne and other kind of abnormalities, things that we don't like. We'll start to age faster, we get more wrinkles. If you're like me, you spend a lot of time out in the sun, mountain biking, hiking, skiing, snowboarding. Not as much skiing and snowboarding this season. In Utah, it's January and we still are pretty dry when it comes to snow. But when I do get out there, I want to protect my skin. GHK copper may be one of the things that you can use. Think of the other thing that happens as we age is our elasticity starts to fade. Our skin starts to sag. And if you don't believe me, just look at some of the movie stars, when they were in their 30s versus in their 60s or 70s. It's pretty obvious. So what can we do about this damage to the skin, especially if you don't want to undergo a facelift or any kind of cosmetic surgery? Well, maybe GHK copper can be the thing that is what helps your skin stay fresh, vibrant, into your 70s, 80s, 90s. So here's a study. This one's called GHK Peptide as a natural modulator of multiple cellular pathways in the skin, and it summarizes based on placebo-controlled GHK copper facial elasticity trial in midlife women. This was a systemic review published in 2015. And they took, this was carried out at dermatological and cosmetic research centers in Europe and North America. And they took women around the age of 50 and they used topical GHK-Cu, or the Cu is copper, creams on the face or thighs for 4 to 6 weeks of these women. And then they wanted to compare the control group. The control group placebo, they were using vitamin C, retinoic acid, and then they measured the collagen production, the skin thickness and firmness, and elasticity. These studies is usually about 60 to 70 women, age 50 to 59, and they all had mild to advanced photo damage, and they all applied that GHK copper in the group that had the copper for 12 weeks. Here's what the study showed. These placebo-controlled randomized trials, they found that with the GHK copper cream significantly improved the skin laxity, firmness, elasticity, density, and thickness, and reduced fine lines versus the control products, once again, the vitamin C and the retinoic acid. And it was consistent with peptide enhancing fibroblast-driven collagen and elastin remodeling rather than a superficial cosmetic. So the big difference in the study and what GHK copper does is it's not just kind of a temporary superficial upgrade to your skin. It's getting in there and remodeling all of the production of the collagen and elastin in the skin. So you're turning on collagen 3, collagen 5. These are really important for keeping your skin vibrant and healthy. So there's 3 ways you want to think of GHK copper. Number 1, think of it as the skin's construction crew. So it rebuilds from the inside. And like I mentioned earlier, rebuilding from the inside does require great gut health, having an awesome diet, avoiding putting your body under enormous stress, lack of sleep. I don't know if you've felt that way, but not only do you feel older when you don't get good sleep, but your skin starts to show it too. Changes on the color. So what GHK copper does is the skin's construction crew is it rebuilds by turning on hundreds of genes that turn on all of the raw materials needed to make good, healthy skin. So think of as the skin, as we age, our skin naturally thins, which is pretty interesting. That's just why as we get older, we bump into things, we have a big bruise, assuming you're not on a blood thinner. But that does not have to be that way. GHK copper may actually help not just with the skin thickness, but also the density, because it's structurally changing the nature of the skin. And that's what this peptide does. And as we age, we have lower and lower quantities of it, is what the research points to. So the second thing is, think of GHK copper and this construction crew. This is a remodeling, not just resurfacing. So they're not just going in, and you've heard that saying, maybe, I hope I don't offend anyone, but putting lipstick on a pig. You know, when you go into a house and you're like, let's just paint the walls, but so many things need to happen. I mean, some of those walls need to go. You need to fix the electrical system, the plumbing, everything needs to be changed. But what GHK copper does is it clears out the old scar tissue. So it's been studied with its relationship with the MMP1 and MMP2. These are metalloproteases, and what they do is they're involved in tissue regeneration and remodeling. And like MMP2 can help remove some of that scar tissue that gets in the way of your body's ability to heal. So think of this as having the scaffoldings. So before you go in and reconstruct things, you just want to remove anything that's no longer useful, like the scar tissue. So what will happen is you'll notice changes in texture and visible skin quality over time, whether you're using it as a topical or an injection. Now, the third way that you want to think of this as inflammation off and then defense on, so elasticity under stress. Now, gene expression research shows that GHK copper interacts with hundreds of genes linked to inflammation and oxidative stress in the skin tissue. Now, the sun exposure is one of the fastest ways that we can increase the static signaling of the skin and cause massive inflammation issues, and then that oxidative damage, especially from the sunburns. And so what the GHK copper does, instead of having the skin overreact to that threat, it actually helps remodel the skin so that it calms down the inflammation and you get more collagen and more of this elastin productivity so that your skin becomes more resilient. Now this is not me saying, hey, go out and burn your skin and try GHK copper. It just won't work. And here's the things that also, I have not seen really good data on this. A lot of the influencers, TikTok, they're like, oh, GHK copper if you have acne. Some people have a complete clearing of acne. Most of the time, I don't see any data on how it helps acne. There's a deeper mechanism going on, both in your gut, in your liver, and also in your hormones. And so if the cause isn't addressed, GHK copper is not going to give you the outcome that you're looking for. GHK copper, while it does downregulate inflammation and helps with regeneration, a lot of times the dosing is just, or the quality of the GHK copper, especially in these topical agents, it's just not making it through the skin membrane. This is where you need lipid agents that can actually carry it through the pores of the skin so you can actually turn on the genes. So once again, this is where it's really important, working with a medical team who understands how this peptide works, what it doesn't do, figuring out what the root cause is instead of depending on just a single peptide to get you the results you're looking for. Think of this holistically, and this is where we test, we don't guess. The way that we can help you get healthier every single year of your life is by turning on the right genes. GHK copper can help you get there, but it's one of many things in the arsenal that's needed when it comes to healthy skin. So if you like this video, you want to go deeper, and you want to actually see what GHK copper does and why it's more than just a cosmetic trend, then watch my next video on what GHK copper actually does. I'm Regan Archibald. I'll see you there.